Welcome to learning AI prompt basics. Today, we'll explore how to talk to artificial intelligence in a way that gets you exactly what you need. Think of it like giving directions. The clearer you are, the better the result. Whether you're writing a story, studying for a test, or brainstorming ideas, knowing how to craft a good prompt makes all the difference. We'll start from the very beginning, so no prior AI experience is needed. By the end, you'll be able to write prompts that are clear, specific, and effective. Let's dive in and learn how to make AI work for you. Let's take a quick look at your learning journey today. First, we'll answer the big question: what exactly is a prompt? Then, we'll explore the different kinds of prompts you can use depending on your goal, whether you want facts, creativity, or step-by-step help. Next, we'll break down what makes a prompt strong, including clarity, specificity, and context. After that, you'll see real examples of weak versus strong prompts and learn how to fix them. Finally, we'll practice applying these skills to everyday situations like homework, writing, or problem solving. This roadmap will guide us through each step, making sure you leave with practical, usable knowledge. Ready to get started? Let's move on to the core concept: what a prompt really is. Now let's understand what a prompt really is. Simply put, a prompt is any message you send to an AI that asks it to do something. It could be a question like, "What's the capital of France?" Or a command like, "Write a poem about the ocean." Either way, it's the starting point of your interaction. Think of it like giving instructions to a robot chef. If you say "make food," the robot might make anything: pizza, salad, even soup. But if you say "make scrambled eggs with cheese," you're much more likely to get what you actually want. The same goes for AI. A vague prompt leads to random or generic answers. A clear prompt gets you closer to your desired outcome. And here's the key: it doesn't understand your intentions like a human would. It only responds based on the words you give it. So your job is to be precise. For example, instead of saying, "Tell me about dogs," try "list 5 fun facts about golden retrievers for a 6-year-old. See the difference? That extra detail guides the AI to give you something useful. Let's now look at the different types of prompts you can use depending on your goal. Now that you know what a prompt is, let's look at the different types you can use. Just like choosing the right tool for a job, picking the right prompt type helps you get better results. First, there's the informational prompt. Use this when you want facts, definitions, or explanations. For example, list 5 benefits of drinking water. This tells the AI you want clear, factual answers. Next is the creative prompt. Use this for generating stories, poems, or ideas. Like, write a fairy tale about a brave squirrel. Here you're inviting imagination and originality. Then we have analytical prompts. These ask the AI to compare, contrast, or analyze. Example: compare electric cars and gasoline cars in terms of cost and environmental impact. This requires reasoning and structured thinking. Finally, instructional prompts ask for step-by-step help. For instance, explain how to bake chocolate chip cookies. This guides the AI to give you a sequence of actions. The key is to match your prompt type to your goal. Want data? Go informational. Need inspiration? Need inspiration. Try creative. Solving a problem? Use analytical. Learning a process? Pick instructional. By being intentional about your prompt type, you set the AI up for success. Now, let's dig deeper into what makes a prompt truly effective. Let's now explore what makes a prompt truly effective. Imagine you're giving directions to a GPS. If you say "go somewhere nice," it won't know where to take you. But if you say "take me to Central Park via highways," it has everything it needs. The same principle applies to AI prompts. There are 4 key ingredients: clarity, specificity, context, and format guidance. Clarity means using simple, direct language. Avoid vague words like something or stuff. Specificity means adding details. How long should the answer be? Who is it for? What tone should it use? Context helps the AI understand the situation. For example, explain diabetes to a patient gives more context than just explain diabetes. And format guidance tells how to organize the answer in paragraphs, bullet points, or a table. Let's look at an example. A weak prompt says, summarize this article. That's too vague. A strong version says, summarize this 800-word article on climate change in 3 bullet points for a middle school audience. See the difference? The strong prompt includes topic, length, format, and audience. These details help the AI deliver a response that's actually useful. In the next section, we'll see how small changes like these can dramatically improve your results. Now, let's understand how AI actually processes your prompts. This is important because AI doesn't think like we do. It doesn't understand feelings, intentions, or sarcasm. Instead, it predicts responses based on patterns in the data it was trained on. So when you ask a question, it's not trying to help you. It's trying to generate text that statistically fits your input. That's why being precise matters so much. For example, if you say explain quantum physics, the I might give a complex technical answer. But if you say explain quantum physics like I'm 5, it switches to simple language and analogies. That's because the phrase like I'm 5 triggers a pattern associated with child-friendly explanations. Another powerful technique is role prompting. This means asking the AI to act as an expert, like a doctor, teacher, or engineer. For instance, you are a nutritionist explaining healthy eating to teenagers. This sets the tone, style, and depth of the response. Think of it as casting a character for a play. The AI becomes that role and speaks accordingly. So remember, AI reads words, not minds. The more clearly you define your request, including audience, tone, and format, the better the result. In the next section, we'll see real examples of how tweaking a prompt changes the output. Let's now look at real examples of how to turn weak prompts into strong ones. Imagine you're writing a blog and need topic ideas. A weak prompt might be, give me topics. That's too broad. The AI could suggest anything from gardening to space travel. But if you say, suggest 5 engaging blog topics about healthy eating for young adults aged 18 to 25, suddenly the AI knows exactly what you want. It understands the subject, the audience, and how many ideas you need. That's the power of specificity. Now let's take a learning scenario. Say you're struggling with algebra. A vague prompt like explain algebra might give you a long, confusing textbook-style answer. But if you say, explain how to solve 2x plus 5 equals 15, step by step, like I'm seeing it for the first time, the AI breaks it down simply and clearly. Notice how we added structure, step by step, and audience level, like I'm seeing it for the first time. These cues guide the AI to respond in a helpful way. The lesson? Always think about who the answer is for, what format you want, and how detailed it should be. And don't be afraid to test and tweak. Try a prompt, see the result, and adjust if needed. This is how you get better over time. Next, let's review the key ideas so far. Let's review the key points you've learned so far. First, a prompt is any instruction you give to an AI. It's the starting point of every interaction. Second, there are different types of prompts depending on your goal. Use informational prompts for facts, creative ones for stories, analytical for comparisons, and instructional for step-by-step help. Third, effective prompts include 4 key elements: clarity, specificity, context, and format guidance. That means being direct, adding details, stating the audience, and specifying how the answer should be structured. Fourth, techniques like role prompting, such as saying, act as a science teacher, help tailor the response to your needs. And fifth, precision matters. AI doesn't guess your intentions, it follows your words. So the clearer you are, the better the result. Remember, asking explain rainbows gives a general answer, but explain how rainbows form in simple terms for a 6-year-old using bullet points gives you something focused and useful. These principles are your toolkit for better communication. Now, let's put them into practice with some hands-on exercises. Now it's time to practice. Let's rewrite some common vague prompts to make them more effective. First, here's a beginner exercise. Tell me about dogs. That's too broad. How can we improve it? Try adding specificity, pick a breed, define the audience, and choose a format. For example, list 5 fun facts about golden retrievers for a 6-year-old. Much better. Now, intermediate challenge, explain photosynthesis. Still vague. Let's say, explain photosynthesis step by step as if teaching a 10-year-old using simple words. This version includes structure, audience, and language level. Finally, a challenge task. Write a prompt that asks the AI to compare 2 smartphones, say iPhone and Android, in a table format. Be sure to include price, camera quality, and battery life. Your prompt might start like, compare the iPhone 15 and Samsung Galaxy S24 in a table with columns for price, camera quality, battery life, and overall recommendation. See how we specified the format and criteria? This tells the AI exactly what to do. Take a moment to try these yourself. Writing prompts is a skill. The more you practice, the better you'll get. When you're ready, we'll wrap up with next steps and resources. Before we conclude, let's clear up some common misunderstandings about AI prompts. First misconception, that AI understands your intent like a human does. It doesn't sense frustration, sarcasm, or hidden meaning. It only sees the words you type. So if you're unclear, the AI can't figure it out. Always spell out what you want. Second misconception, that longer prompts are better. Not true. A long, rambling prompt can confuse the AI. What matters is clarity and structure, not word count. A short, well-crafted prompt like explain gravity in 3 sentences for a 5th grader can be more effective than a paragraph of vague requests. Third misconception, that one prompt works everywhere. Different AI tools like ChatGPT, Gemini, or Claude have different personalities and responses. A prompt that works great on one might fail on another. So don't assume consistency. Test your prompts across platforms and tweak as needed. Remember, AI is a tool, not a mind reader. Remember, the more precise you are, the better it performs. Now, let's look at how you can keep growing your skills. To get really good at prompting, make it a daily habit. One simple way is to take a question you'd normally type into Google and turn it into an AI-friendly prompt. For example, instead of searching how to make pancakes, try saying, give me a step-by-step pancake recipe for beginners using common ingredients with tips for avoiding soggy centers. See how much richer that is? You've added audience, beginners, format, step-by-step, and a specific concern, soggy pancakes. Another tip, use AI prompts for real tasks. Need a study guide? Write a prompt like, create a 10-question quiz about World War II for 8th graders with multiple choice answers. Drafting an email? Try, write a polite email to my professor asking for deadline extension due to illness. The more you apply prompting to real life, the more natural it becomes. And don't go it alone. Join online communities or study groups where people share and improve prompts together. Reddit, Discord, And AI forums are great places to exchange ideas. Over time, you'll develop an instinct for what works. And remember, mastery comes not from perfection, but from practice. Now that you've mastered the basics, where can you go next? Where can you go next? First, consider chain of thought prompting. This technique tells the AI to think step by step, which improves its ability to solve complex problems. For example, when solving a math word problem, adding "let's think step by step" before the answer helps the AI reason through each stage logically. It's like showing your work in school, and it leads to more accurate results. Second, explore few-shot prompting. This means giving the AI a couple of examples before your main request. For instance, if you want product descriptions in a certain style, show 2 sample descriptions first, then say, write a similar one for a new item. The AI learns from the pattern. These methods are more advanced, but they build directly on the skills you've just learned. Beyond techniques, you might also explore related topics. Natural language processing, or NLP, teaches how I understands human language behind the scenes. And AI ethics helps you understand how your prompts can influence bias, fairness, and responsibility in AI responses. As you grow, you'll not only get better answers, you'll become a more thoughtful user of technology. Let's do a final review of what you've learned. First, a prompt is the starting point of any AI interaction. It's your instruction to the system. Second, the quality of your output depends on the clarity and specificity of your prompt. Vague prompts get vague answers. Clear ones get useful results. Third, always include key details: who the audience is, what format you want, and how detailed the answer should be. Fourth, practice regularly. Rewrite everyday questions as AI prompts and use them for real tasks like studying or writing. And fifth, once you're comfortable, explore advanced techniques like chain of thought or few-shot prompting to go even further. You now have a solid foundation in AI prompt basics. Remember, this isn't about perfection, it's about progress. Every time you write a better prompt, you get closer to getting the exact help you need from AI. Keep experimenting, keep improving, and most importantly, keep asking good questions. Congratulations, you've completed AI prompt basics. You now understand what prompts are, how to write them clearly, and how to avoid common mistakes. You've practiced turning vague requests into powerful instructions, and you know how to adapt your approach based on your goal. This is a valuable skill that will serve you in school, work, and creative projects. Remember, mastery comes with practice. Start using these techniques today. Rewrite your questions, specify your needs, and watch how your AI responses improve. Try out free tools like ChatGPT, Gemini, or Claude to test your prompts. And consider joining communities like Reddit's Artificial Intelligence or AI-focused Discord servers to learn from others. Keep your curiosity alive, keep practicing, and keep refining your skills. Thank you for learning with us. You're now ready to communicate more effectively with AI and unlock its full potential. Great job! Great job! Great job! More effectively with AI and unlock its full potential. Great job! Great job! I'm ready to communicate more effectively with AI. Thank you again for completing this course on AI prompt basics. Before we go, here are some helpful resources to keep your learning going. For hands-on practice, try free AI tools like ChatGPT, Google Gemini, or Anthropic's Claude. Each has slightly different strengths, so experimenting with all 3 can deepen your understanding. If you enjoy learning with others, join online communities like the Artificial Intelligence subreddit or AI-focused Discord servers. These spaces are great for asking questions, sharing prompts, and discovering new tips. For deeper knowledge, consider introductory books like I Unraveled by Etienne Newman or online courses like AI Literacy for Beginners on Coursera, the field is evolving fast, so staying curious is key. And remember, the best way to master prompting is by doing. Use it every day, reflect on what works, and keep improving. If you have questions, reach out to a teacher, mentor, or online group. You're not alone on this journey. Thanks for learning with us, and happy prompting.